It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my same.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? So today I want to have a conversation with you guys about Boruto Uzumaki awakening a second Jougan. Now, I know someone's already typing in the comment section down below like, yo, we already saw what happened in the flash forward sequence. We know that Boruto and Kawaki, they're swapping hands with each other. Kawaki and Boruto's karma seal, they're resonating with each other. The Hidden Leaf Village is destroyed, and that they're 16 years old. Boruto is able to activate the Jougan at will. He has no second eye. You very well could be right on that last point. However, I want to say something. I want to stress this to you. So when you look at the flash forward sequence, that's all that we know. We don't know whether or not this takes place at the end of the series. We don't know whether or not this takes place as a midway point. We don't know where this is in the timeline outside of what people like myself have reported in the past, which is this takes place 4 years after the versus Momoshiki arc when Boruto and Kawaki are both 16 years old. Outside of that, we know nothing about the context. We know nothing about Boruto's training. We know nothing about how he got to that point. And I think that to say that if you're gonna go the route of having Boruto only have the one Jougan and say that it's impossible for him to awaken something else, I say that if you take that stance, you're opening up the door to potentially be wrong. And I want you guys to go back to the end of the versus Momoshiki arc. So in the anime and in the manga, not in the movie, but not in the novelization for the movie, but in those two continuities, you have Momoshiki looking over at Boruto and saying, you've inherited a very strong power from the Uzumaki clan. And he flat out looks Boruto in the eyes and says that your blue eyes of yours will take everything away from you. And he's implying that there's something special about Boruto's eyes. Now you have to remember, in that moment, Boruto already had one Jougan activated. The other one was not activated, and yet Momoshiki still felt the need to say that, hey, your eyes, your blue eyes will take everything away from you. So that's already foreshadowing that there's something else going on with Boruto's Jougan, or excuse me, there's something else going on with Boruto's other eye. Whether or not that's another Jougan, whether or not that's another Uzumaki clan related jutsu that's going to be in his eye, we have no type of answer, but it does make a lot of sense though, because Boruto's Jougan right now is able to sense emotions, is able to sense locations, see the dimensional fabric rift when it comes to Uzumaki clan. It's able to basically see chakra to a certain extent. The Jougan that Boruto has a lot of uses, and yet at the same time, it leads me to believe that that next eye is going to have something to balance it out, because as it is right now, Boruto just having the one eye with all those powers inside of one, it makes me think that Boruto is going to be unbalanced if you take Momoshiki's whole type of reference at point blank value. Now, the other thing that I feel like we need to at least bring up is the fact that when you look at the versus Momoshiki arc, yet again, throughout that arc, you had multiple characters bringing strong emphasis on Boruto's eyes and about how special they were. Now, that could have very well been foreshadowing, setting up the whole thing, that people were noticing that there was something going on with Boruto's eyes, but in reality, it's because Boruto was going to have that moment with Momoshiki. It's absolutely possible that could have been foreshadowing. And to play devil's advocate, I'll even go a step further. When you go back to episode 8 of the Boruto anime, so when you go all the way back to when Samiri was collecting chakra using Nu, when you go back to that part, you have this scene where Boruto wakes up, and it's after Toneri visited him in his dreams, and Boruto wakes up and he wipes his eyes, keyword eyes, and that's when he realizes that, oh, I got a Jougan in one eye and nobody really believes him. So I mean, given the point that he only has that one in that moment, yeah, you might have a little bit of room to stand on. And yet at the same time, we also know that Boruto, the Jougan, wasn't fully matured. That was one of the things that Toneri pointed out, that okay, Momoshiki and Kinshiki and Urashiki, they're coming to Earth a lot sooner than he expected, and that for the future calamity that was awaiting the planet of Earth and everyone in Konoha and Naruto and all of them, that Boruto's eye still needed time to mature. And so when you look at something like that, that leads me to believe that the other Zinger is going to be that next eye. And given how high the stakes have raised in the Boruto manga, which I will not spoil for the anime onlys who are watching this video, but what I will say is that given everything that's going on in the Boruto manga right now, and given the goals of the Car organization, in particular when it comes to the leader Jougan, I can definitely see Boruto having some type of Uzumaki clan power up in that other eye, potentially it being another Jougan, thus completing what Toneri originally set out. But I want to know from you guys, do you think that Boruto should get a second Jougan? And if so, what powers do you think he needs to have? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.